Greetings all. Reflecting on week 7 discussion, you have once again succeeded in putting your considerable wisdom and experience together in a case conference that I think holds much promise for a useful approach to working with Michael. I want to underscore several themes that I think are pertinent in your conversation. Several of you noted the importance of focusing on Michael's strengths. And as Juan points out, the issue of alcohol has to be addressed. Several of you talked in various ways about the importance of a combined approach, as Ryan puts it, therapy, resources, and education. And as others pointed out, the reconnecting to community and community supports. As Shauna and Jennifer and others have pointed out, a family systems approach would be very helpful. It could well be that Michael has assumed the role of the symptom bearer in the family. But as Jennifer points out, it's very important to find out what other family members' experiences are, because it is a trauma that is shared by all the family members and, in fact, by everyone in the community. Which brings us to Myra's point about the importance of addressing the community as a whole. As Diana points out, so many people were involved with the evacuation, and they more than likely are also suffering from the aftermath. Dalen suggests also incorporating a stress reduction approach, and Misty and Lisa point out that it's an important aspect of stress reduction is creating a plan for what to do in the future. In fact, as some of you suggested, that would be a very helpful thing for the whole community to do together. You continue to have interesting conversation about the pros and cons of using medication. And as several of you point out, in this sort of situation that involves sleep deprivation, it's very difficult for a person to engage in recovery under the condition of sleep deprivation. So for that reason alone, medication in this case can be very useful. Roanne and others have wondered what Michael's situation was like before this trauma. What were his supports? And if he had experienced past crises, what worked for him in the past? And those things are very important to consider. And Misty and Juan also underscore the importance of paying attention to past experiences and how those were handled. You all gave lots of attention to cultural context, the cultural context, which is music to my ears. And you were careful not to make assumptions about what Michael's preferences might be. As you point out, he may or may not be embedded in his community, and if he does consider himself to be an integral part of his community, there are various ways to do that. And so he may or may not feel that he would benefit from traditional practices. And it is in general essential to be informed by the client about what would be useful. So that was a very good catch on your part. And finally, Anthony's suggestion to draw from Brandel's directives and focus on safety and calming and a sense of self and community and connectedness and hope. Together, you have done a wonderful job of staffing this case based on an excellent case vignette. And it's clear that you are creating an environment in which each of you is benefiting from not only the readings, but bringing the readings to life in the context of these cases. And it's clear that you're continuing to enrich one another's perspectives and understanding, and I appreciate that.